So today is Voice of the Voiceless Tuesday, which means we will be talking about a lot of Worcester, our hometown. And one of the things we're going to be talking about, we have a couple subjects. I know you want to talk about bullying. We're also going to be talking about Worcester City Manager Ed Augustus to ramp up efforts to combat chronic homelessness. Worcester State University, Mount Wachusett Community College gets cut of $1.2 million in state grants. The state has awarded $1.2 million worth of performance incentive fund grants to public colleges and universities, including a few in central Massachusetts. Governor Charlie Baker's office announced Monday. Mount Wachusett Community College received a $16,235 award, and Worcester State College got a cut of $346,382 grant that is being split among 5 campuses. So Worcester State and Mount Wachusett are getting some money.
Good.
Yeah.
I don't know what they'll use it for, but that's good.
To me, it don't matter. I don't care what they use it for. If the numbers are in and it shows that kids are graduating and they are getting their education like they're supposed to, do whatever you want with the money.
I think that the money be better spent on the lower levels so that the kids can go to college. There's a lot of inner city kids, they don't go to college not because they can't afford it. They don't have the knowledge. They're not being taught the skills they need in the lower levels to be able to compete in college.
Whose fault is that?
I blame
You think that's a money problem?
I think that's the school system's fault.
So I would agree with you if their kids go into the same schools, go into the same middle schools, then go into the same high schools, and are graduating and going to college. If it works for some, then you have to start looking. Maybe it's not the school system that's the problem. Maybe it's the people not taking advantage of the school system.
No, it's the school system. The school system wants to have everybody the same old. They want to have the cookie cutter kid in there, sits there with his hands folded and stuff like that, and regurgitates the answer.
Yes.
That's what they want. And then they call them the AP students and stuff like that because they're good at regurgitating. And because they are good at regurgitating, some kids retain some of that.
Yep.
And then you got the creative kid whose mind is just going all over the place and they can't rein it in.
Isn't that up to the parents to make sure that they rein it in?
The kids creative. Kids with creative genius are high-strung kids.
Mm-hmm.
Not all kids are the same.
Right.
Some of these, and I've seen some of the kids after they even come out of college, like go to medical school and stuff like that. Like, how the hell did you get through the 5th grade?
Right.
You don't even know the capital of the state you live in. Never mind the capital of the country.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they just like we live in a world where I want to know this. That's it. I don't want to know all these other things because I don't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to know this. And the school system says, okay.
Right.
But you can only know this as far as I understand it.
Right.
And they don't want to work hard and stuff. And that's bad because the creative kid who's got all that energy, they're not afraid of work. They're just not being challenged.
Okay.
And I think that system needs to be changed like that.
I agree, but still, I think that some more onus should be on the parents and on the kids themselves. It's not easy for some to regurgitate as it is for others.
Yeah.
However, it's possible for all of them to. It's
possible for all of them to, but if your mind is just going at 100 miles an hour and you're focused on things that not. Say you're at home and you like watching Sid the Science Kid or something like that as a kid. And you get involved with that because you say, oh man, I can do that, I like to do that. You go to school and they don't have science.
Right.
It's like, you got all this energy built up inside to be like Sid the Science Kid, but they don't offer science. It's like the school system, at least here in Worcester that I see, is so far out of date. Even the more advanced schools, till you get up into the higher levels and stuff, they're not in with the times.
Mm-hmm.
And not being in with the times, that then the kids get left behind.
Right.
What's that school? Clark?
Clark, Worcester State.
Yeah. I went to, when I first came up here from Texas, I like going to school. School's what I like to do just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going to college since 72, because I just like going to college. That's what I like to do. It's like a hobby of mine.
Right.
And I went to Worcester State. I went to Worcester State and ended up teaching the class on the field test. Like, really? Because the teacher was a social worker.
Mm-hmm.
And well, you're a social worker. You got a PhD in social studies and stuff like that. This is a military history class.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know anything about military history, but he's teaching a military history class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how do you do that? That was really bizarre to me.
Yeah, maybe he wasn't good at regurgitating the information like he was supposed to. But
no, he regurgitated to get a PhD.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't qualify him to teach military history.
Right. So that's one of the things we'll be talking about, the education and the issues with the education, and how some colleges got grants, and how Troop thinks that the money should be given to the lower levels, to the elementary schools and the high schools and the middle high schools, before worrying about the universities, because the universities make their money due to tuition and things like that anyway.
Yeah.
So they make their money on the back end. The elementary schools, not so much. They have to sell cookies. They have to sell do all kinds of fundraisers to just have basic needs for the school.
And I think one thing that you and I are doing this afternoon, anyways, we just at the end of our first contest, our essay contest is coming to an end at Main Street YMCA this afternoon.
Yep.
We have Will and I put together a contest with the YMCA with the physical fitness director Matt Evans and stuff, and I don't even know her name. Shame on me. Down there in the after school program.
Yep.
And the kids were supposed to write an essay on. Here's the topic, folks, that I think is one of the most important, understated topics in the world.
Right.
Who am I?
Yes, very important. But you don't want to know what the problem is, Troop, to keep it real?
Yeah.
One of the problems to me is the politics. Even in just doing this that we've done.
Yeah.
The politics that went behind the scenes at the Y was annoying, to say the least.
It was annoying, yeah.
And it makes it difficult because the kids are the ones who suffer in the end.
Yeah. When we first presented this to the school department.
Yep.
And you got laughed at
by the mayor. Yep.
It's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it that funny that you can't even see that the kids that around you on towing the line on being able to be successful?
Yep.
Because they don't know who they are.
Right. So got laughed at by the mayor. That wasn't fun. So that didn't go through. That didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen in the school. So it's like, here it is.
Right. So then we went to the Y.
Yeah.
And then there was, we
had one ally though. I got it.
Yeah, one ally.
Yeah, we had one ally. He did a lot of work for us.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name either. Oh, the older fella there with the.
Oh, I can't think of it now either. But we had.
Well, we will by the time we get to.
Yeah, when we get there, we'll let you guys know on another episode. But either way, like I said, it's just the way that you have to scratch and claw just to help somebody.
Just to help. Yeah, it's like this is just a help type thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's wrong.
Yep, it is wrong.
Yeah. And it's not the parent. The parents need to be more involved in their kids. They need to be taking more pride in their kids' future. But there's some parents out there that they really don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're so still young in the millennial sense and stuff that they're still all about me.
Mm-hmm.
I got kids, but it's all about me.
The problem, I think, one of the big problems with that is the parents, they didn't have the education. So this started generations ago.
Yeah.
Because the parents, now that you don't have the education you need, you have to work a job. And there's no state in the country, I read this yesterday, where a minimum wage job can afford a 2-bedroom apartment. No state. So your parents are working all kinds of ridiculous hours, or that's one scenario, or the other scenario is if they're not working and they're just on welfare, they don't have the education to help you. My daughter brought her math homework home to me, and I didn't know what the hell that stuff was. My brain was fried just trying to help her with her homework.
Yeah, because they got a
fifth grade. Yeah, 5th grade math homework. I was like, you don't know how to regurgitate the stuff the teacher taught you?
Yeah, because they're not looking for the answers. Like, how'd you get to it? Oh,
right.
That's the answer. It's right it.
They don't care about the answers. They care about how you got it. They want you to do it the specific way they taught the kid out of it. Yeah. And I wasn't in school when you were taught that. And plus, I didn't pay that much attention in school anyway.
Yeah, that's like, this is your system.
Right. So
my system was here. 1 and 1 is 2.
Yeah. So when you have the teachers sending your kids home with all this work, and then I consider myself to be kind of intelligent. I don't think I'm the smartest guy in the world, but I think I have enough common sense and enough book smarts to be able to help. I can't imagine a parent who has no education at all having to help their kids and do stuff like that. Now, I would send them to the Y too. Like, look, get out my face. Go to the Y and get help there.
Yeah, and they're good that there's programs that's available for kids to get help like that.
Yep.
And that's a blessing, because you're absolutely correct. Some of the parents out there, it's not through any fault of their own. The school system let them down.
Yep.
But the jobs and society and today's whole thing had moved on.
There's
There's no jobs for people who don't have an educational background anymore.
So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, because you got to get assistance on welfare. They say, hey, you got to get off welfare, get a job. Well, I got a job, and the job can't afford to pay for anything. Yeah. And then at the meantime, I'm not smart enough to get a better paying job, so I got to go back to school. Well, then go back to school. Well, I can't go back to school. Right, I can't afford to go back to school. Well, there's grants. Oh, well, you want me to get off welfare? What grants should I get if I'm not on welfare? It's a jumbled mess.
Yeah,
jumbled mess.
It's a big mess, and it's there so that people can have something to talk about it. Just like that what's his name? Augustus thing?
Ed Augustus, yes.
What is chronic homelessness?
Well, in 2011, the U.S. Interagency Council on Homelessness declared Worcester the largest city in the country to have nearly eliminated chronic homelessness. 6 years later, city officials say the number of chronic homeless people is creeping back up, and city manager Edward M. Augustus Jr. is reaching out to experts for help. The issue so chronic is again and again and again, I guess. And chronic homelessness, I'm assuming, is people who they try to get off the streets and stay on the streets.
Yeah.
There's just some people who want to get off the streets, but then don't want to go through the system and the hoops and the hurdles to become to not be homeless.
Yeah, exactly. I never thought of homelessness being chronic.
Yep.
I guess it is chronic. I don't know why they be homeless. I guess that's the $1 million question right there. Are you homeless because you don't get any help with a mental illness? Are you homeless because you just can't afford to live in some place, so you got to live out of your car? There's homelessness out there in abundance.
Yep. So HUD adopted the federal definition, which defines a chronically homeless person as either one, an unaccompanied homeless individual with a disabling condition who has been continuously homeless for a year or more, or 2, an unaccompanied individual with a disabling condition who has had at least 4 episodes of homelessness.
So that's a chronic homelessness.
Yes.
That's a shame in today's society. Well, I don't know. I guess not. And when you really look at today's society, there's no jobs for some people.
Yep. Well, and there's substance abuses.
Yeah, there's substance abuse, and there's they made programs the programs that help you so nice looking to some people that they take them up. You know,
Yep.
there's some people from other countries that come in here and they're like walking into a smorgasbord of food and all kinds of stuff like
Yep.
this. It's free.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not just rice and some meat. You know, they're getting all kinds of stuff like this. So they get into the system. And then, you know, we look at the system from our thing, what we want. We look at the healthcare system.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we measure a lot of stuff, I guess. Look, why everybody so unhealthy?
Oh man, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day.
It's like,
Troop, I can go down the street to Family Dollar, pay 99 cents for some of the most unhealthy chemical, body destroying contents ever. But if I wanted to go someplace and get a salad or get something healthy to eat, it would cost me my check.
it would.
It's
It's out of control. But don't you think because of that, this adds to the healthcare problem that we have in society?
Yep.
So if you look at, well, let's give the people opportunity to be more healthy, and then this will cut back on their visits to healthcare.
Right.
Some people won't really need to carry. We use it as a badge too.
Yep.
My healthcare is better than your healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. But
You still got diabetes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I'm not in the game to get sick and die.
Right.
You know? And I don't care how well the healthcare is. It's just a crazy world we live in.
Very crazy.
It's crazy. And it's getting worse. It's getting worse. The genocide in this city right here. And I ain't gonna not pretend that the part of the homeless problem here in Worcester is being generated by the lack of help being offered by the political guys in Worcester, because genocide needs something to look at, but that's evil and ill-fated for the community. And they say, well, we have to do something about this. And then they can show at the end, look what we did. Yeah, what did you really do? We moved them all to Springfield.
Well, when you're so focused on gentrification and you don't think about or don't consider the poor people, this is what happens.
Exactly.
This is no surprise at all that the homelessness is on the rise, because they can't afford where they're going to move to when rent's going up.
That's it, and the only way to measure success in this area is by bringing the number of chronic homeless down. You ain't giving them anything, you're just moving them out.
Right.
With the gentrification. That's all you're really going to do. You'll attach pretty names to it, but you know your pretty names are still going to be the same thing. You can't afford to live here.
Nope.
Go someplace else.
Nope, they can't. And so this is what we'll be talking about on Voice of the Voiceless from 12 to 1 p.m. on 91.3 FM WCUW. We're also going to be talking with Keith Laporte. Keith will be there today. Sir Lord Keys will be in the building, and we will be on Main Street in the storm. We're going to fight through the storm to get to the radio station and do whatever it is we have to do to talk about Voice of the Voiceless.
And then a little bit after that, we're going to be going over to the YMCA, and we're going to be judging the essays turned in by these kids about who am I?
Right.
You know, not what I want to be or anything. Who am I?
Yes.
And I think you adults out there or anybody out there, if you really want to have some, you ain't got anything to do this Christmas, just play a little game with all your loved ones and everything, and just have them tell who they are.
Right.
You know, it'll be an eye-opening experience to hear people lie.
I hope these kids don't lie. I hope they really grasp and understand, because they are someone important, and I hope they really understand it.
I hope that some of them can come away with something that they can say, you know, I really always truly like that, because that makes me feel happy, and that's who I am.
Right.
I hope they can come away with that. Not that, well, everybody says that this is what you're supposed to do. We already got those generations.
Yeah.
It's time to change from those generations to a newer generation, but not the millennial me generation who only think about anything that they could. What I hear this, what we got. They want smaller government, as long as it works and they don't have to pay for it. But if that don't work, they're all in for bigger governments as long as it works and they don't have to pay. They're schizophrenic. They have no idea of what they want or what they like. They just want whatever's convenient, easy, and for them is what they want.
Right.
That's it. It's a whole generation like that, and it's time to step aside from that generation because that generation, it's lost touch with everything else. It knows how to Facebook, Snapchat, and all these other things like that there, but they can't do their homework. They don't know how to study.
Nope, they don't.
They've really lost. That's a real lost generation.
Yep, lost their way. Yeah. All right, troop. It's 11 o'clock, which means it's time for us to get ready to head to 91.3 FM.
Yeah.
WCUW. It's your boy Truther.
Yeah, just Trooper Joe, and you go have that fun. And if you get a chance to stop by this afternoon at the Y on Main Street to come in there and see the kids who won or lost, who participated in the essay contest, come on down.
All right.